surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Bet, not a real bet, betting is bad, but take a bet on Maxx Crosby. You would say, we believe his knee is good, and I would bet $10. Would you bet $100? Okay, I would. What about $1,000? Sure, I would. Then it's like, what about your house? Would you bet your house? Like, would you bet all the money you have? That's really what it is for the Baltimore Ravens. So we can all talk about, well, they should have been comfortable. It's a projection, and, theoretically, they knew that it, had some ways to go, even though he's doing well. Yes, that is all true. But the Ravens needed to bet the house on Maxx Crosby, and they just, after the medical exams, after getting in there, after doing all the work that they had preliminary work, but yesterday afternoon was the real work. They did not believe the risk was worth it, so the deal was off. They pivoted to Hendrickson without knowing whether or not they were going to get him, and this morning, as we just reported, they got him.
All right, well, there's that. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a Wednesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
Good thing we have Ian Rappaport.
Thank you to NFL Network for that clip. Yeah. So cool.
What do I do about the Crosby jersey?
Right. Remember that? Do you remember the Bo Burnham special?
No, I didn't watch it.
So I'm not like it was during the pandemic, and it was like when we needed things to watch. And Bo Burnham recorded an entire comedy special from inside his house. And there was a song in there that has been used on the internet a lot that went like, "Can I interest you in everything all of the time?" And that's the way that I feel right now. Everything just pop, 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 pop. Whew. Man, I want to cover a couple things because then Drew's going to come in here and God knows what he's going to do to derail this. So
Drew's going to.
I want to get this because this is the clip to put up on TikTok. If you're a believer in conspiracy, then be a believer in conspiracy. The actual reporting about this is detrimental to your argument, but look, I get it. Conspiracy is fun, and everybody believes that everything is a conspiracy. So I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong. I can't prove you're wrong. I have no idea. You might be right. I don't know. I'm just a guy. Here's what I'm telling you. Even if there's some conspiracy, whatever level there it would be, I don't believe the Ravens are utterly faking that everything they saw on Maxx Crosby's physical was what they expected they were going to see in Maxx Crosby's physical, and they just decided, yeah, but we didn't really want to do this. That, to me, sounds crazy, truly crazy. But can I prove it's impossible? No, of course I can't do that. I'm just a guy. I'm just Ken. What I can tell you is it doesn't actually matter. And this is the tough part for the conspiracy theorists. Because there's a lot of people that want to dive in on, yeah, but this other GM said that this was bullshit. Did you hear what Pelissero said or what Cameron Wolf said or what they said the GMs are all mad. No one's ever going to want to work with the Ravens again. Well, literally the next significant free agent that was available proved that theory is meaningless, which I could have told you, and I did tell you last night. This is the stuff Like, when you're mad, you just say it's like you didn't like that a Ravens player took a knee in London, so you said, I'm never going to watch the team again. And then all of the seats were full the following week. All of them. When you're mad, you just say things. I'm mad. I think my team could have had Maxx Crosby, or maybe if another team had gone after Maxx Crosby, then we could have gone after this guy, so I'm mad. So I'm going to say things. But the idea that there are any actual ramifications for the Baltimore Ravens? Nonsense. The owners are co-workers. They all work together. Teams literally openly accuse the New England Patriots of cheating and continued to work with them and make trades. You're mad because you think you could have benefited somehow. The Chicago Bears might be mad because they could have had Maxx Crosby. Now, maybe if the Chicago Bears saw the same things the Ravens did, they might not have traded for Maxx Crosby. But they're mad. Other GM is mad because, well, if the Bears had traded for Maxx Crosby, then we might have been able to. This is the way it works. And for a day, they're all very mad. This is bullshit. The Ravens are going to pay for this. And then tomorrow, they need a trade partner. And there's only 32 teams in the league. As I explained to somebody last night, it's like when you order from your favorite Italian joint and they get your order wrong. The one in your neighborhood, the one that you always go to, and they get your order wrong, and you're mad. Because that costs money, right? Like, you paid money, and you got the wrong thing. Now, how mad are you? Are you mad enough that you're going to, like, drive back to the Italian joint? Maybe. You might be mad enough. You might have already taken your pants off for the night, and you're just going to eat whatever's in the bag. Are you mad enough that you're not going to order from the Italian joint again? That you're going to drive to another town in order to go to their Italian joint? Everybody can be as mad as they want today. The idea that there are any actual ramifications, even if your conspiracy theories are true, I hate to tell you this. Because it feels like I'm telling you that, like, the tooth fairy isn't real. And I want to make it abundantly clear. I would never say that. The tooth fairy is, ask my kids, incredibly real.
Got some real nerve mentioning Italians on a day like today as well.
It's a great point. Great point.
After what they did to us last night.
I mean, I don't know if you heard, the U.S. already advanced, so. Man.
That's the thing.
Like, I'm not sure if you're aware. The manager said so. They were already in. They didn't even have to try. Which is good because they really didn't.
Now we're rooting for the Italians.
I always root for the Italians.
I've never been more proud to be 1/8 Italian.
There you go. I don't even know what percentage Italian I am, but it's because my father was Italian, my grandfather was Italian, his father was Italian, so I'm Italian. I say all this to say the conspiracy theory stuff is fun. It's not legitimate. Well, I can't tell you that it's not legitimate. The idea that there's a penalty is not legitimate. This is the way it works. There's no penalty from the NFL. Trades are pending a physical. That's the way it goes. Now, you might be a conspiracy theorist who believes the Ravens made something up on the physical or knew what the physical was going to look like. And even if you don't think that this is all crazy, like, even if you believe, your belief is, look, the Ravens would have done the Maxx Crosby trade, but then they had the chance to get Trey Hendrickson and keep their 2 first-round picks. Even if that's your belief, the idea that there is a penalty for it is nonsense. There is no penalty. None. The first player that needed a contract, their agents went to the Ravens. That's the way it goes. You're really attempting to believe that the next agent's going to say, you know what? we're so mad about the Ravens that we're going to take less money to send our client to Arizona. It's beyond the realm of belief. It's fantastic because you want to yell and scream on the internet. It's not actually legitimate.
Name someone who ever went to Arizona and prospered.
Whoever went to Steve Nash. Steve Nash went to Arizona.
I was
and
a dig at
prospered.
you.
I know. I didn't. I'm certainly. I was trying to prove your theory wrong. Though.
Who's the new guy?
Oh yeah, we're going to talk to you about that later.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
What's up with you, bro?
There's some changes.
You all right?
All right. Enough.
Ask him where he went to high school, Drew.
No, enough. We're not worried about. I love Grant. Grant's a great guy. He's going to be in here next
He
week.
didn't go to LB, did he?
Shut up.
No, he
Shut
didn't go
up. We have things to talk about.
Yeah, this World Baseball Classic is a
I'm
joke.
sure we're going to cover the World Baseball
You see
Classic.
how that
How
guy
on
scored
earth?
80 points yesterday?
Stop it!
Ridiculous.
Ryan Yarbrough,
Stop it. God, coming in here.
minus 3.5 runs.
Yeah, that's what you had. All right, what do you want to say?
Dude, insane, right?
What do you want to say?
Insane. I 1,000,000% disagree with everything you say.
Okay.
No one's going to do a deal with the
Yeah,
Ravens
I'm
ever.
so sure.
No,
I'm
it's
so
insane.
sure.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And they signed Hendrickson, right? I've been out of the loop this morning because I had
Yes,
meetings.
they definitely
They
signed
Hendrickson.
Hendrickson. Yeah.
When's his physical?
I don't know if you heard. He's hurt. So.
He's got a bad wheel, too.
Yeah, right?
It's insane. I mean, I don't know what to say. And then Lamar think got finished?
Or not finished. They did the thing they had to do in order to get cap compliant.
Oh, so they
today.
didn't.
This is not an extension.
Oh.
But the reporting is they're still working on the extension.
But by 4
this
they had
is
to
just
have
what
this done.
you had to do in order to be cap compliant
Okay.
today.
Because
But
that
yes,
would make him a free agent after this coming season, right?
essentially, yes.
If
Yes.
if this
Yes.
holds true.
If they don't, if they, for whatever reason,
Gotcha.
don't get it done.
Right.
And by the way, that continues to be like, why isn't it done today? Why did you have to do the in-between?
Right.
Like, I don't know. And that's another conversation that we can have on a
This
different
whole
day.
thing is so. This is what I wrote today. Part of this is all about the process that these people go through. If you went tomorrow and you've just done it over, I guess, at BAL. I don't know that you had to go through a whole issue, but if you went tomorrow to go work at a news station, a reputable place, you would fill out an employment application and a background check.
Mm-hmm.
Before they hired you, they would check on all your references, and they would check you out to make sure that what you say is accurate. And then they would hire you. They wouldn't hire you first and then call around and have someone go.
So it's so interesting you bring that up because I do remember the program director at WBAL said, look, man, I know this might be embarrassing for you, but I still have to. I need you to send me some of your They were like reached out to me,
right.
wanted me to work there,
100%.
and then said after we had all talked about what it was going to be, they said, "Look, man, I'm not. Can you please send me 3 references? I have to do this
Right.
because
just in case somebody said
that. Yeah. But by the
guy's
way,
a kleptomaniac.
that guy stole
Right.
everything in the office on his
Right.
way out.
So
right?
so why it doesn't work like that in the league is beyond me. It's above my pay grade.
You know what? It does though. Like, and this is the part that people are missing.
It does, but it doesn't.
The
because
Ravens, the number of people have been like, "Oh, the Ravens announced the
They
trade."
didn't announce anything.
They didn't announce anything.
Right. The Raiders did.
The Raiders didn't announce
And
the trade.
Crosby did.
No one announced it. Maxx Crosby announced the
Right.
trade.
His agent did.
Correct.
Right. So, but I guess that's my point. The wonky nature of this thing, because these agents, as I wrote today, these agents are only interested in one thing. We all think they're interested in getting the best deal for their current client. That's actually not what that is. That's number 2. Number 1 is, how do I get a new client?
Mm-hmm.
How do I go out? It's like a politician. The day they get elected, and they come into office the next day as the new whatever.
Yeah, how
you
do
know
I
what
get
they're worried
reelected?
about? Correct.
Yes. Right.
That's what they're worried about.
Correct.
They're not worried about the sewer down the street. They're not worried about this zoning thing. How do I get reelected? All the rest of it comes after that. These agents are only worried about how do I get my next client. And in their mind, here's how I get my next client. I got to tell all the other clients, I just got $100 million from Maxx Crosby, and I got to tell them right now.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell them right now. I can't wait 8 hours.
Well, there's multiple layers to it because it's not just the agent. It's also the interest. The number of reporters that are talking and covering every day because the interest is driven. 40 years ago, this could have all – like in 1986, there could have been a trade like this that no one would have ever heard about that happened.
Well, there was a trade made – who was it? Was it Hollywood Brown? That deal was the one that no one.
Yeah,
that
they kept completely under wraps.
No
somehow,
one said a
yes.
word about
Yeah,
it.
it is
right?
kind
for
of
like
remarkable.
a month.
Yes, correct.
So, anyway, so part of this is a byproduct of the wonky nature by which this got released, but it's also a byproduct of the wonky nature that started on Monday, which is we're not really allowed to talk to you, but we've already signed you.
Correct.
It's beyond bizarre to me.
Correct.
We can't sign you,
Dude.
but we've signed you.
Right, but also they it's amazing. They worked out the entire deal from 12 o'clock on Monday, and players were signing at 12:03.
Right.
It's amazing how they managed to negotiate with all of the teams.
Bart Scott signed at 12:01.
It's incredible.
Remember the one?
I mean, it's
what's his
really,
name was at his door.
Rex Ryan was
right
in his driveway. Yes,
like so part of it. I'm not saying this to try to be a prick either. Part of this is sort of what you get. You kind of deserve this a little bit. This all the chaos. Not I'm not pointing at any one person in particular. And I'm actually, if you gave me the Meet the Fockers truth serum, I'm kind of defending the Ravens on this. I don't think the Ravens were involved in anything nefarious at all. I think they wanted to trade for this player, and as the process goes, they said to him, "Get on a plane, fly to Baltimore, let Dr. Tucker and forget her name, Leanne Curl, let Dr. Tucker and Dr. Curl look at you. Get on. We can't do it with you in Vegas. Get on a plane, fly here." He did. He flew there. They looked at him. They did some tests, some exams. Said, this doesn't look so good. But, in fairness, maybe we're blinded by the sticker shock of it. Let's do this. Let's find someone else that is kind of non-biased to look at it and just give us their honest opinion. And they did. And that person came back and said, this is not good. So are you going to listen to two of the most competent, well-respected doctors in the entire country and then another knee expert, or are you going to say, yeah, I know that's what they think, but I'll give this guy $100 million? You'd be out of your mind to go against what they said, in my opinion. Now, if they said, it's like tread on a tire. If they said you could get from here to Cincinnati on those tires and you decided to drive on them and you got to Cincinnati and that's all you wanted to do, well, then maybe you're okay.
Yeah, all good.
But if you wanted to go to Denver and the tire guy said, dude, I got to tell you.
We can get you to Cincinnati, right.
I got to tell you, you're not getting to Denver on those tires. And you drove, and in Des Moines, Iowa, the tires blew out. Well, that's on you. So I'm going to defend them on the process by which this happened. Now, does it look a little interesting that they quickly signed Hendrickson? Maybe, but I got news for you. You know where he wants to go? He wants to go to a team that's going to win.
Probably.
So he said
to
him,
the team that's going to pay him the most amount of money.
Okay, but if I can marry those two,
yes, that's
what did he get from the Ravens? $112 million.
Yes.
If the Saints would have offered him $115, he was coming to Baltimore. He's not going to go to the Saints and go 7-11. He's just been, or 7-10. He's just been doing that with the Bengals.
No.
Well,
I don't know.
I do.
Yeah, you don't know that. You just
I know.
think that. And I understand why you think that. I get it.
But anyway.
But I don't know that.
So is it going to look – are the Ravens going to get raked over the coals on this? Sure. Is Eric going to get raked over the coals by certain morons in town? Sure. I think they did everything that they were supposed to do. We made a deal. We want you. We know you have an injury history. You should come here. Let us take a look at you. He did.
We also don't know if they, to whatever level they attempted to still make the deal work.
What's the benefit of here's my question. By the way, I can't stay long, which is a bummer.
That's a real shame.
I know, because I did want to talk about the World Baseball Classic. Loss of those creeps.
They're flopping on the field.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Mexico's going to win today 3-2, right?
Probably.
Tell me the benefit. I always say this, right? Cui bono. I'm very well versed in Latin. Who benefits? Tell me the benefit.
Well, if the
Ravens, screwing this up intentionally.
The only argument that could be made for the conspiracy theorists that would be legitimate would be the argument that they thought Trey Hendrickson's market was going to be one thing last Friday. And so when they thought that was what his market was going to be, they said, we're not swimming in those waters for Trey Hendrickson. We don't want to trade.
What's that mean? $140 million?
Yeah, whatever that would be.
Okay.
We don't want to trade 2 first-round picks for Maxx Crosby because they don't like trading first-round picks ever, but we'll do it.
It's really 1.5.
Because you're assuming next year's is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
I know.
If you would have said that last year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, no. Now after all, we lost half the team, maybe
correct,
not. Right.
Correct. So that's the conspiracy would be that they thought Hendrickson's market was one thing, didn't really want to do this, but did.
And then his agent called
got to Monday.
And his agent said, we'll take 120.
It's crazy. The market isn't what we thought it was.
Okay.
We don't have to give up 2 first-round picks. No, Trey Hendrickson's not quite as good as Maxx Crosby, but is Trey Hendrickson plus 2 first-round picks as good as Maxx Crosby? Maybe. Let's do that instead. Now, it's a fantastic conspiracy. I have not, because I'm just a guy, I can't prove that it's wrong.
Was that a No Doubt song?
With Fantastic Conspiracy?
No, Just a Guy.
Oh, no, other way. But, yeah, I mean, not bad. Not bad.
Oh, no, it's Just a Girl.
Yeah, Just a Girl.
Just a Girl, right.
Yeah,
that was a
Just
great album.
Girl. It was a phenomenal album.
Every song was good.
It was incredible.
Every song was
It
good.
was incredible how good that album, Tragic Kingdom.
Well, so the fact that they just lost 10 players in free agency, does that also
what's that have to do with No Doubt?
like, I want 2?
Yeah, don't we know that's what we're talking about
What's
here?
that got to do with
Yeah, we're just trying to have a conversation about Tragic Kingdom. You're over here trying to talk about football.
They lost another guy now? They had 9. What happened? They lost another guy while I was asleep?
I was rounding up.
Pat Ricard, I'll punch him right in the face.
Why? What did he do to
Going
you?
up there with Harbaugh. Baltimore North.
You like John Harbaugh.
Going up there to Baltimore North.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if any of those guys would have said like the.
So what do you? But what do you think happened?
What do I think happened?
Honestly, you think that might have
my
happened?
opinion, if I had to bet, is exactly that. That they looked at the physical and said, let's go back and try to talk to the Raiders. And let's say to the Raiders, we'll trade you 1 first-round pick.
Oh,
but
now you got a different.
This
is
a different conspiracy, yes. But we want that 2nd first-round pick to be protected against
him only playing 1 year.
If he's got to play a certain number of snaps, whatever it is. Now that wouldn't really make sense because if there's a long-term concern, then
they're going to get him to Cincinnati.
Right.
He's going to get the tires. They're going to get him to Cincinnati.
Correct.
Right.
So maybe it's more. We like him, but we like him at a 1st and a 3rd, not at 2 firsts. That's what we will give up 1 first, but we're not giving up the 2nd first.
So it was buyer's remorse in your mind.
It's possible the 2 things meet, but they're met based on what you saw in the physical. We said this all the time, right? Like we all killed the Orioles over the physicals. They dinged Giovanni Gallardo on his physical and then turned around and signed him anyway
for a year.
They just renegotiated.
Yeah. They
the physical.
said your arms aren't going to last for a year.
Yeah, so
it
we'll
lasted
sign you
7
for that.
weeks.
And Giovanni Gallardo could have said, "No, you just screwed me here. You're wrong." But what he really said was, "Okay, all right,
because you're right.
You got it.
Right.
I'll do the deal." Now I don't know how this is going to work out with Maxx Crosby.
Right.
Maybe there is going to be another team who ends up paying that price, or maybe the Raiders are going to say, short of getting that price, we're just not trading him. It's not happening. And as it turns out, he doesn't hate Alex Guerrero as much as we think he does. I don't know what's going to happen. But my gut tells me...
I don't know how you keep him after you've traded him.
I don't know.
Personally.
Well, I mean, he did go on about how much he loves the Raiders. I mean, he did do that. So I think that can...
I guess.
I mean, Billy Donovan quit Florida, took the Orlando Magic job, had a press conference, the whole thing, and then a day later was like, God, you know what? I'm not sure I wanted to do this. And Florida said, come on back, bud. You come right on back here.
By the way, that was a Jeopardy answer the other night. Did Florida win the national championship last year in basketball?
They did, yes. They beat Houston.
I yelled at the TV last night like I knew exactly what I was talking about when the guy goes, who is Florida? And I'm like, what a bozo, Florida. Yeah. And Ken Jennings goes, that's correct.
Who did you think won the title?
I had no idea, but I knew it wasn't.
It was definitely not Florida.
But I knew it wasn't.
Yeah, they haven't won in years.
But I knew it wasn't Florida.
Al Horford's been gone for forever.
I knew it wasn't Florida.
Right. Great
Billy
point.
Walsh is no longer there.
It's a fact. You're right. I don't even know who Billy Walsh is. Matt Walsh?
Oh, Matt Walsh.
Yeah.
Same thing. I knew his last name was Walsh.
You did get that part right. That is correct.
But, yeah, I had no idea. So, anyway, I
don't know how it's going to play out. But to me, I think there's room for there to be an in-between. I also
do agree with you, though, that no one is going to black cloud the Ravens.
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Is
your client healthy?
Correct.
Then we don't have any problem.
100%.
Bring him here. If your client's got a back problem, we're going to talk to the doctors.
Imagine you're trying to work out a trade. I'm trying to think of another team that's in this situation. Who's another player that we thought was going to get dealt this year? Who's A.J. Brown. You're the Philadelphia Eagles. You're trying to trade A.J. Brown. And the Ravens say, tell you what, we'll give you a first. You want a first? We'll give you a first. You got it. And we'll throw in a third, right? And you're the Eagles, and you're like, man, the best offer we have on the table is a second, but we just can't take that Ravens offer because, boy, we really don't like what they did with Maxx Crosby. So we're going to take a second-round pick from another team instead of the Ravens' 14th overall pick. You need to process that in your mind. I need you to think about what it is that you're saying. There is no blackballing the Ravens. The teams openly accused the New England Patriots of cheating and then worked with them. This is the George Carlin bit. It's you're not in the club. They're in the club. They're co-workers. Like, I know we all want to believe they're competing against each other. That's what we want to believe. They're co-workers.
All right, they're not, other than the owner in Cleveland who, violated the collusion discussion.
That's a great point, right? Like,
other than that scumbag who ruined the league.
Son of a bitch.
That guy
didn't get the message that we were doing collusion.
Right.
That a-hole.
But
believe it or not, they still trade with him too.
But other than that,
yeah,
right. Other than that,
they still trade with him.
But you're right. Other than that, there's still. I joke around and say there's honor among thieves.
Yes,
but there is. They're not. If this was something nefarious, if something nefarious was going on, I do believe in my heart Steve would say to Eric, well, I can't do this to Mark Davis. I can't do it to him. Like, I'm part of the group. Mm-hmm. I can't go to a league meeting and have these guys pissing on me because you screwed this up. Mm-hmm. Like, I do believe that. And that may be a 35,000-foot view that none of us can understand because we're not billionaires. Mm-hmm. But there is
speak for yourself.
Yeah, right.
Things are going really well over here.
I know. Yeah. But there is honor among thieves, and I do believe Steve would say we're not doing that. I'm not doing that to the Raiders. It's not how it's not how you treat your business partner.
I don't disagree with you inherently, but I would still say, and even if somehow he did, the Raiders would still end up. They might not trade with the Ravens this week. Right. They might say we're not doing that today. But if in 3 months they need a trade partner for, I can't even think of who it would be.
Well, it's not Geno Smith because they traded him.
They did. I don't think that was going to work out.
That was our Lamar leverage.
Yeah, I don't think that was going to be the case.
Hey, Lamar, if you don't sign, we're going to get Geno Smith.
If next year Brock Bowers wants out, like, he's now pissed off.
We'll take him.
And the Ravens are offering more than everybody else is offering. You know who they're going to trade with?
Right.
It's this simple.
Well, we're also in the
Susan Collins, the senator from Maine, is very concerned about everything the president does. Very, very concerned about it. Needs you to know how concerned she is. And then goes and votes in favor of the thing 2 days later. It's just, you get outraged because you're supposed to be outraged.
Right. Well, that's the thing about Eric. He's now the new de facto whipping boy because John's gone. So now you've got to, if you're a hater, you got to move over. You got to hate somebody. So you got to move over and hate him. I mean, that's the truth.
Well, look, the spotlight is on Eric DeCosta.
For 100%.
It is. It has to be.
100%.
That's the way it works.
You can be critical of.
Yes.
When you compartmentalize his job, you can be critical of things along the way. Picks that he's made, deals that he's made, trades that he didn't make 100%. Or made. Like you sure, but.
And we'll see, right? If Trey Hendrickson gets hurt again halfway through the season, then we're going to look at this.
Everybody last week jumping up and down, doing backflips about Maxx Crosby. Great trade. It's a great trade if we win. It ain't a great trade if we don't win.
My opinion really was you needed to win a Super Bowl. You had to win.
Right.
That was what you were doing.
Well, this is what we do every year.
And I was okay with that. I'm okay with the Ravens saying at some point we have to have a now.
I agree.
A now.
No. I was fine with it.
Yes.
But I'm pointing out that it's only a great trade if they win. If they don't win, who cares?
Yeah, right.
Like, same thing in the draft. Go back 3 years ago and look at how many people went on Twitter the day after the Ravens drafted X and said Ravens killed it.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 years later, you look at it and you go,
I have no idea if
not so
Malachi
much.
Starks is a particularly good football player. Like, he's made some good
Looks
plays.
like it.
might be a good football player, but I don't know.
But we'll evaluate that in year 3, that draft.
Mm-hmm.
Last year's draft, we'll evaluate in full.
Well, and by the way, those things could be in flux. Trevor Rogers looks like a great trade today. But they needed a pitcher that was going to help them get over the top in 2024, and he didn't do that.
Right.
So was it a good trade or not? I don't know. It's a complicated story. All of this is complicated. I don't know what's going to happen. Trey Hendrickson, to me, is the hell of a pivot. It's a hell of a pivot. He is really good at getting quarterbacks on the ground. He ain't Maxx Crosby.
Right.
He is not a complete football player the way that Maxx Crosby is, but he is really good at getting quarterbacks on the ground when he's healthy. If he's healthy,
doesn't have all those tattoos either.
that's a great point, right?
You can take him out to an elementary school, and the kids aren't going to be scared.
Yeah, is that they're terrified when someone has tattoos? That's what you got.
How funny would that be if
That's what you're working
Ravens
on?
are like, yeah, you know what?
Yeah, we didn't know you
We
had
do a
all
lot
those tattoos.
We do a lot of elementary school work.
Yeah, that's the reason why they failed the physical. We're a little bit worried about ink poisoning.
Yeah, right.
That's the issue.
Put
that we might
a long
have
sleeve
here.
shirt on, would you?
Yeah, that's the
You
way
look
it's
like
gonna
De Niro
that's
from
the
Cape
way
Fear.
It's gonna work. All right,
All
you got to get out of
Yeah,
here.
I got to go. We just got a busy day. I'm sorry. But you got plenty of stuff to talk about.
Nah,
So,
yeah, it's a real shame.
You want to do a Players' Championship preview real
Nope.
quick?
All right, we'll see you next Wednesday.
What do you think of Bam Adebayo, Drew?
83 freaking points.
Yeah, but okay.
I agree.
I know.
It's
I know what you're going to
Kobe,
say.
Kobe would be.
But it's
Did you
still
watch,
83.
Watch the
I
fourth
know
quarter.
what you're gonna
It's not
say.
basketball. The fourth quarter was not basketball.
How about the shot that Hofstra
was-
made to win to
I
beat
don't know.
Towson?
You want to talk about that?
Oh, my
You wanna
God.
talk about that?
How about the shot that Howden missed at 101?
Yeah. It was against the Wizards.
I
Like,
know.
What are we doing?
But it's still 83 points.
Yeah, but like
he
it's
shot under 50%.
83 points.
was just
We're
jacking
saying
up
it's
threes
83 points in an
and missed
NBA
them.
game, but it's in an NBA
Oh, you're
game.
terrible.
Like that's what
You're
we're-
terrible.
Come on, man.
Chris Goddard up, Jake Knapp, and Sep Straka.
I've
give you
heard
those-
of two of them.
Place your bets. Place your bets. All right.
You could have just slipped in a name there. You could have just
Dick
said
Hurts.
100%. And I would have been
Hurts.
like, yeah, that sounds like he might be a golfer.
Dick Hurts.
You could have done that.
All right. You guys
get outta
have
here.
yourselves a great day.
Drew Forrester,
God bless you.
Drew'sMorningDish.com. Appreciate him stopping by. Yeah. All right. So a bunch of people got Will Rubenstein. This is like trying to buy a $5 million house. First, you have to have the home inspection. After that comes in, you either accept it and close, negotiate the price, or walk away. Conspiracy, LOL. JC, the Ravens pulled a Peter Angelos and got cold feet over the physical. And then this is Enjoy Life. Crosby and Hendrickson both have injury issues. The difference is that you don't have to give up any draft picks to get Hendrickson. Well, yes.
He's
but
coming off what, core surgery? Like that's
yeah.
that sounds a little more, I don't know,
When
scary.
he missed half the season last year.
Yeah, he missed half the season, and now he's got.
I mean, it was obviously very healthy the 2 years before that, right? When he was
Yes.
putting up 17.5 sacks per season. It's funny. We literally had the conversation the other day. Is Maxx Crosby 2 first-round picks better than Trey Hendrickson? And my argument was, I don't know. I just know that Maxx Crosby was the guy you could have. Well, as it turns out, you could have Trey Hendrickson. The Trey Hendrickson is the part that matters moving forward. Like, today we're doing the conspiracy theory stuff because it's what everybody's doing, but ultimately it just doesn't matter. That's dead. And again, if you don't like this, that I know that's going to pain you, but there will be the conspiracy theory part of this is irrelevant moving forward. It's one of those things where I think you're wrong, but it also doesn't matter if you're right. Like, so I don't even want to argue with you. I would rather just say, okay, maybe you're right. Now what? And that's what I'm trying to explain. There is no pain. Not for the Ravens. Unless, again, Trey Hendrickson isn't healthy or isn't as good as he was in Cincinnati or falls off a cliff while Maxx Crosby proves to be very healthy for the next 5 years. Then that will be pain. That will be pain if it plays out that way. But all of the other belly aching and boo-hooing and nonsense and this is bullshit. I'm telling it's so funny how similar it was. When I was more invested and more involved in doing more of this myself, I know Ryan Grant's name we've all been reminded of the Ryan Grant story. The number of people that work for other teams around the NFL that messaged me and said the exact same things. This is bullshit. The Ravens are going to pay for this. That told me the Ravens did this purposely so they could get Michael Crabtree. They didn't know Crabtree was available. They figured out he was available. They'd rather have him. This is bullshit. They're going to pay for this. I mean, maybe somehow cosmically, like that Tyler Loop happened because of Ryan Grant. I mean, I don't know.
I can't believe that's what caused it.
Right? But it's absurd.
What about Michael Brocker?
It's just saying stuff to say it. You're just saying it. There is no penalty. There is no nothing. The Ravens will not be blackballed, even if you're right. Which, again, I don't think you are. And the reporting about this, as Drew points out, suggests you're probably not. It just seems like teams that are mad for the sake of being mad. And yet the timing is bonkers. If this had all happened 10 days ago, we would not care the way that we're caring. We think there are ramifications for how the dominoes fell after what we believed was a Maxx Crosby trade and how that might have impacted other teams. But in the end, that's it. In the end, the Ravens have Trey Hendrickson. We're going to find out more about Trey Hendrickson. They have 2 first-round picks that we didn't think they had yesterday. Great news for us. We can go back to covering the draft. That's neat. We'll go back to doing our weekly draft segments. That's the part that matters for the Ravens. It's not going to prevent them from signing players. Spare me. I have no doubt C.J. LeBoy, Maxx Crosby's agent, is very unhappy. But you, again, to believe your conspiracy, you have to believe that the Wasserman team, or somebody told me they changed the name because Casey Wasserman, we know, is involved. His name's come up in the Epstein files. I don't know if they've changed the name of the agency. You have to believe that they're going to say to their clients, no, we're not going to get you the best deals moving forward because we refuse to listen to offers from one of the teams. And that's so outlandish that it doesn't pass the first sniff test. And literally the first sniff test proved to be Trey Hendrickson, who was happy to go join the Baltimore Ravens. And his team apparently is not concerned about whether or not there is a conspiracy afoot, which is the way that this works. Maybe you're right. Maybe there is a conspiracy. Who knows? But the idea that there's going to be penalty that comes from it is kind of disproven immediately because the first significant free agent that existed in the NFL that had a chance to say, no, the Ravens are going to pay for this, said, no, the Ravens are going to pay me. I'm going to take their money because it just doesn't work that way. We're going to do our best to just talk about Trey Hendrickson, who's a pretty significant signing for the Baltimore Ravens. I get it. There's a lot more going on. It is a Wednesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio, and any opportunity we have to chat with our next guest is one that we're going to take. You know him from WLW out in Cincinnati. You also know him from his NFL and Notre Dame career. He is our buddy Rocky Boiman, and he is back with us now here on GCR. Rock, what's going on, brother? How much of a I don't know this. I know a little bit about like your politics, but are you a conspiracy guy in general?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, just name one. I
and you're on board
believe
with it,
in
right?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Do you think that we
aliens, Bigfoot? Yeah.
All right. Have we ever walked on the moon, or do you believe that was all in a studio?
Oh, see, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. A year ago, I was said absolutely, and now let's just say I still think we did, but I'm questioning it. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, dude. Look, man, I actually get, and I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist. I'm also the type of person that doesn't even, like, maybe they're all true, right? Like, I can't prove otherwise. I don't spend a lot of time with them. We did a segment about aliens a couple weeks ago because, like, the government has basically said, we think aliens exist. So I'm like, all right, I guess we're just on board with aliens.
So do you have one quick second to give my moon landing theory of why I'm questioning it? Do we have a second?
Yes, by all means. For you, of course.
So, and I'll try to find the article and dig it up. So apparently some guy went to do, it's like the whatever anniversary of the moon landing, and he wanted to do like the definitive documentary, of everything, like really do it right, spare no expense, do it. So he goes to NASA and he says, hey, I need the original, I would like to have the original footage of the moon landing so we can put this in the documentary. Like, okay, great, yeah, sure. And comes back, I haven't given it to him, comes back a while later and says, hey, what about that footage? Okay, yeah, we'll get it to you. They don't do it. Comes back like another time and they go, oh yeah, we don't have it. We lost it. And like, wait a minute, you don't have like the video, like the most important video in the history of videos out there, the moon landing. So it was like that guy is now like one of these conspiracy theorists based on the fact that
Hey, man. Hey,
you
man.
know, you don't have a video of the most important discovery of all time. Anyway, that's
I can't prove it. I can't prove it. And this is where I am with the Ravens thing. Like I genuinely, my gut tells me that there really was something about the physical with the Ravens that they didn't like. That's what my gut tells me. That there's something that they didn't like, and either they attempted to renegotiate the deal or my gut tells me they didn't just make the whole thing up. That is so outlandish and so like shameful, and was just brought up like. Steve Bisciotti having to explain that in an owners meeting would be wild, man. Like, wild for him to have to do that. But is there room in the middle? Like, is there room where, like, okay, we might have not liked it, but we also I can't tell you there's nothing there that the Trey Hendrickson side of it didn't factor in somehow. I just don't think they made the whole thing up. I also don't think that ultimately it matters for the Ravens. I just don't think if everybody's mad, they're all going to be mad. And then you know, that Trey Hendrickson had the opportunity to sign with the Ravens, and his agent said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take their money, which is just the way that the business works. Like, I'm willing to say, even if you're right about your conspiracy theories, I just don't know that it matters moving forwards.
I don't know if this is a conspiracy theory, but let me give you another story. Okay. So this is 2006, okay? And plasma TVs were like the thing, right? Like, and they were just started making the big ones. So I went to Circuit City, and I bought a 60-inch plasma TV. Okay, and I'm playing the NFL, and it cost $8,000. Okay, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the most amazing TV ever. But then as I so I sign the papers, do that, and I go all the way to the back where they're going to load it on my car. And at that point, I was like, no, I can't do it. I had buyer's remorse. So I just wonder if did the Ravens at some point go, man, we're giving up 2 first-round picks, and now the price for Trey Hendrickson is down a little bit. Do we have a little buyer's remorse to give up all that to get Maxx Crosby? We don't know when if he's going to be healthy. That's what I wonder if happened. What about you?
I'll give you that. Is it possible? It's possible. I can't say that it isn't. I don't think that they're completely making up that there's nothing that they found on Maxx Crosby's physical that wasn't something they already knew. That part is really hard for me to get done to that stretch. But is it possible that Trey Hendrickson played a factor ultimately? I think it's possible. I do. I just also don't know that it matters. Like, that's the problem. I think that everybody wants it to be, well, the Ravens are going to pay for this. Right. How? How are they going to pay for this? Like, what?
Yeah, I don't think. Look, it's a business, man.
Yeah.
No matter what the reason is, it's not the feelings business. This is the win championships business, and maybe things don't always look the cleanest and are made the most highbrow, but I don't think it borders on like illegal or anything. It's just, whatever the reason was, the Ravens decided they didn't want to have Maxx Crosby. He's going to be fine. I'm sure he's going to get a nice contract. They get Trey Hendrickson in. He's of course happy because he leaves the franchise in the Bengals that, and we'll get into this, but I mean, started off, what a great tenure he had, but that really soured in the last, 365 days or so. So look, I think everyone moves on, and the Ravens think they got their pass rusher here to be a dominant player, and they keep the 2 first-round picks, and life is good.
All right, let's talk about Trey Hendrickson, who I know from our past conversations that you love. That's your guy. What are the Ravens getting if Trey Hendrickson, again, with that giant caveat, provided Trey Hendrickson is healthy, what are the Ravens getting in Trey Hendrickson?
Well, what they're getting, and I've said this on your program before, Glenn, they're getting, if this matters to Ravens fans, I don't know, but they're getting the greatest free agent signing in Bengals history. Period. End of story. When the Bengals signed Trey Hendrickson in 2021, he was coming off a nice year with New Orleans, but it was people were like, this is kind of a flash in the pan. It wasn't like a huge household name, of course. And they signed him, and Glenn, and over the course of 5 seasons, he has 61 sacks. In 2023 and 2024, he has 17.5 sacks, right? All pro, unbelievable player. So I mean, his tenure and with the Bengals is lock solid. Now, the issue was within the last year, as I alluded to earlier, the relationship soured. And, Trey Hendrickson, had signed a contract, and then, but he thinks he's worth more money. And the Bengals like, well, wait a minute, you should have bet on yourself and played a 1-year deal, but you wanted a 2-year deal, so now you're playing for the money that you originally signed up for. But I'm worth more money. You know how it goes, right? We've seen that scenario a million times with NFL players. So the Bengals, again, it was just kind of messy. All off-season, all preseason camp, instead of focusing on the team and what do we got to do to get – it was always like, what's the situation with Hendrickson? And I think, honestly, if and maybe I'm reading into it a little bit, but I feel like it weighed on the players as well. I felt like they were never, like, behind Hendrickson, like, yeah, man, our guy's getting screwed. He needs a better deal because he's so important to this team. You never really heard that. So, again, a great player, great overall tenure here in town, but I think from his perspective, the Bengals' perspective, it was time to part ways, and now here we are.
Let me ask about is Rocky Boiman's with us. The twofold. The first question I think people would have was, but he is 31. He's going to be 32 in the course of this season, and he is coming off an injury. Obviously, in 2024, he was a monster, right? Like, he was unbelievable. And we also know that there are lots of pass rushers that are finding success, like now, kind of deep into their 30s, right? Like, Khalil Mack just got more money from the Chargers this offseason. Is there anything that would concern you about the trajectory of Trey Hendrickson, that maybe he can't continue to be this otherworldly type of pass rusher moving forward?
Oh, absolutely. And Glenn, that's, again, one of the factors of why the Bengals didn't resign him. I mean, 3 factors, right, for the Bengals, why they said, no, we're going to move on. You just mentioned he's 31 years old. He'll be 32 by the end of the season. Played in just 7 games last year. Had a core muscle issue, whatever that is. And then they also just didn't, his franchise tag would have been $30 million. And the Bengals didn't think, in their opinion, didn't think he was worth that, or because a lot of people were arguing with the Bengals, why didn't you sign the free agency tag, okay, or the franchise tag, and then if another team wants him, you can trade for him and you get a 6th-round pick or something. I feel like the Bengals were like, God, well, what if we sign him to this $31 million 1-year deal and we get no takers? So that's kind of where they were. I mean, they were really on the side of, this is not financially a good deal for us. Again, he's older, just had the injuries last year. Now, I would also point out, too, in the other 4 years he was with the Bengals, he played 16, 15, 17, and 17 games in a season. So this was kind of an outlier. Mm-hmm. And I would also argue, Glenn, and I have before here recently, we live in the day and age when these players aren't going through, 3 weeks of 2-a-days, and they're not banging in practice, So like a 30-year-old player, yeah, that's still like an older player, and still a lot of franchises feel that way. But these older guys, Glenn, I don't think have the wear and tear on them that they did maybe 10 years ago, 15, 20, and certainly beyond that. So, and I think that's what the Ravens are saying, okay? Like, look, this guy maybe doesn't have the wear and tear of a guy that would have had, 20 years ago, so let's take a shot, and that's what they did.
As far as what they're getting in Trey Hendrickson, the football player, again, provided he's healthy, Maxx Crosby, we had to say, hey, you can't just define him by his sacks. He is a more complete defensive lineman, someone that's more impactful against the run. Trey Hendrickson from afar isn't that, right? From afar, Trey Hendrickson to me he's an edge rusher. His job is go get quarterbacks on the ground. That's what he does. Am I missing anything there?
No, and that's if you asked any Trey Hendrickson detractors or just frankly Bengals fans here in town, I think that's one thing they would bring up is he's not exactly that interested in being a stalwart against the run. Whereas, as you said, Maxx Crosby, his numbers, both, rushing the passer and playing against the run are much, much better. So that would be a concern. Again, signing a guy 31 years old and, does he want to get in the trenches and grind it out and that kind of thing? I think that would be a concern. Absolutely.
And again, the Ravens need the Ravens still need that guy. Like, as much as Maxx Crosby would have been amazing, and trust me, I'm bummed because who doesn't love Maxx Crosby? But is he still the guy? The thing that I keep coming back to is the Ravens needed a closer. They needed someone who, when the game was on the line and you know this, Rocky, you know how the league has changed and all the rules benefit offense, and now these otherworldly quarterbacks have 4 downs to make a play at the end of the game. They needed someone, and post-Terrell Suggs, they haven't had that guy. Can Trey Hendrickson be their closer, the guy that finishes games for them that they have been missing over the course of the last 6 or 7 years?
Well, Glenn, I think you nailed it, because I think that if I had to describe him and what he's meant to this Bengals franchise the last, certainly 3 years or so, that's what it is. It's late in the game. Bengals got a 10-point lead or a 1-score lead. We need somebody on third down to get after the passer on third down and get off the field. That's what he has been best at. Again, you're giving up. He's not that interested in playing the run all the time. And last year he had the injuries, but throughout most of his tenure with the Bengals, that's where he was, that guy in that fourth quarter that could shut down a last minute drive here and get off the field and secure a win. So if he's the player that he has been and plays like he did 2 years ago and 3 years ago, that's exactly what you're getting.
And that part could be a game changer for the Ravens. Somebody would point out, like, the Bengals had Trey Hendrickson and their defense still wasn't very good. Why wasn't – I mean, is it really just that's how bad the rest of the unit was, Rock?
Yeah, I think that's the main reason. Of course, if you're talking about last year, and look, the Bengals defense last 2 years hasn't been very good, but last year was because he was injured a lot. But, yeah, there were just so many holes. The secondary, in terms of safeties, nobody that can tackle, defensive tackle, not much there. And again, there was never that – Bengals never find that partner to Trey Hendrickson, that other end opposite to take a little of the attention away. And, it just should never find that. Just so many deficiencies on this Bengals defense. Now, the Ravens defense obviously is much more solid across the board. So now a piece like Hendrickson, more of a pass rushing piece, I think makes a lot of sense to the Ravens, where it may not make as much sense to the Bengals.
What do you make of the Ravens? Have lost an awful lot of people. Like, from afar, they do have still a fairly top-heavy roster, right? Like, they have Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Kyle Hamilton, and Trey Hendrickson. Rock, is that like enough that you would say, okay, I'd start with that and feel pretty good that they can fill in all of these other? I mean, they've lost 9 guys in free agency this week.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, I think you agree. I mean, Kyle Hamilton is like having 4 players in one.
That's
though.
Fair.
He does so much. I mean, he plays D end, he plays linebacker, he plays safety, he plays a little bit of everything out there. So I'm sure that's how the Ravens look at it. But yeah, I mean, look, it's like, this isn't college football where you can just stack a roster with 120 guys on it. There's decisions that need to be made, and there's finances, and there's contracts and all that. But I still think the Ravens are going to be in good shape. I think you do too. And I think, again, with Trey Hendrickson, it just all comes down to, is he going to be healthy, and does he have the fire he did back in 2021, 2022 to come in? Because when he's healthy and he's motivated and he's in his prime, I mean, there was, for a couple of years there wasn't a better pass rusher in the league.
35 sacks over the course of 2 seasons is pretty freaking unimpeachable, man.
Yeah.
It's unreal. I'll phrase it this way. Would you, aside from everything else, even if we just assume Maxx Crosby is healthy and is going to be fine moving forward, would you rather have Maxx Crosby or Trey Hendrickson and 2 first-round picks?
Man, I mean, player for player, I'd rather have Maxx Crosby, but that's not your your question, is
right.
it? That's a tough one because I mean, I look, by the Ravens doing that move, the original move to get Crosby, they're saying we are in win now. The window of Lamar Jackson is open, but it's cracked open. It's not going to be wide open anymore, and soon it's going to be shut. So if you look at it from that perspective, I think, let's say, Maxx Crosby was healthy, I think I would have given up the picks and taken Crosby.
I
just do. I think Crosby is that dominant of a defensive player.
Game changer. There's no doubt about it, right? There is no question he's that type of player. All right, you got any other ones for me? You got any other conspiracies you want to throw out?
Conspiracy theory? Yeah. Oh, God. Well, I just printed out an article here in Portage County, Ohio. There's been a bunch of Bigfoot sightings, a big uptick in them.
Hell
So,
yeah.
man.
I want to party with that.
So
dude.
let's go. I'm gonna get back to this right now.
Rocky Boiman. A reminder: you can give him a follow. It's at Rocky Boiman 50. That's where you find him, brother. Love you. Always appreciate you. Let's do it again real soon. All right.
Go ahead. You're the best, man. Aren't we so blessed to work in? I mean, this is like the ultimate soap opera. You couldn't write some of these scripts, and we get to talk about it. It's wonderful.
My head's spinning, but I don't have to dig ditches today. I don't have to go out and, this is what I get to do, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, bro.
You got it, brother. Yep. Thanks, Glenn. Have a good day, buddy. See ya.
Rocky Boiman with us from out in Cincinnati, former NFL linebacker, talking conspiracies and Trey Hendrickson. And again, that's to me, that's the ultimate. When the dust settles, when we get past all the conspiracy stuff, the ultimate question is: would you rather have Trey Hendrickson and 2 first-round picks or Maxx Crosby? And we talked about it before when we thought it was Maxx Crosby, and I said then, I don't know, but I defaulted to the Maxx Crosby of it because that was the move that was there to be made, whereas you didn't know if you were going to get Trey Hendrickson. I still don't know. I would definitely rather have Maxx Crosby than Trey Hendrickson 1-to-1. Obviously, I'd rather have Maxx Crosby. But, again, that's a healthy Maxx Crosby, and I don't know if Maxx Crosby is fully healthy because I don't believe this is all made up. So I'm torn, man. I'm Natalie Imbruglia. It's tearing up my heart when I'm with you, but when we're apart, I feel it too. It's the whole deal, man.
And I guess that's where the conspiracy comes from. Because it's like, well, what made you think he was healthy? Like, he had knee surgery 2 months ago.
Right, but again, you can think that you're going to see one thing and then see something else. And that, again, according to the reporting from Diana Rossini, the same person who's reporting what other GMs think, is saying, yes, but the other doctors that are looking at it had more concerns than that. And it's interesting today. We all want to know why. We're never going to get full answers. It's never going to happen. And the Ravens aren't leaking anything because that would be a HIPAA violation. They're not going to do that. They can be generic. They can say things like, if a reporter asks, yes, we were concerned about something we saw. But that's not going to – we all want to, get the answer and say this guy has X batting average and this guy has X batting average, so this guy's better than that. It's the same dumb stuff we say. Well, if a player is when you're dealing with an injured player, if he's 70%, he should play on Sunday. As if that's a thing. As if there's some measurement in our body, like a video game, that says we have 70% of health.
That's not how it works.
Believe it or not. No. None of that. We all do it, and it's hogwash every time. There is nothing to it. I don't know all of the details. What I know moving forward is they don't matter. They don't. The Ravens have Trey Hendrickson now, again, provided he passes the physical. 2 first-round picks that they didn't think they were going to have, and holes that they have to fill on their roster. Interior offensive line. I mean, there are people that are suggesting that the Ravens were apparently Rappaport said the Ravens, before the Maxx Crosby trade, were maybe thinking about trying to go after both of them.
Oh. So maybe they can still happen, right?
I mean, I don't know.
It's a first and second rounder instead.
I don't think it's going to be Crosby. I just don't think it's going to happen with Crosby.
Well, it's like you said, there's no conspiracy.
Right. I just
Raiders
don't think
are going to be like, well, the Ravens have the best offer.
Right.
So
I don't think that one's going to happen uniquely. And I say that, who knows? I mean, I don't know. Maybe we get two weeks down the line, and I don't know. Today, I don't think that's going to happen. And like Kaylavon Chason came off the board. Some of the other edge rushers that were still lingering have come off the board. So I don't know if there's another play, or if it's just all right. Instead, we're willing to trade this pick. Maybe we're willing to trade, as we talked about before, to move up to get Ruben Bain, and we'll pair Trey Hendrickson with Ruben Bain. That might be the play.
In favor, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed. It sounds pretty good. But they also have to address, they still need...
But no one's going to trade with them.
Right, I know. I heard. They're not going to be able to make trades anymore. This is the reality for the Ravens, and that's the only thing I can deal with. For the people that are, the NFL needs to investigate this. Tell me what rule they violated.
Not being cool, bro. Like that.
Thank you. That's the one. Even if your conspiracy's right, what rule did they violate? Trades aren't final until they're final. That's the way it works. Legally speaking, the Ravens could just say exactly what Rocky Boiman said. They could. Yeah, we don't want to. I mean, that would be a terrible look, but they could do that legally speaking. I thought I wanted to pay $8,000 for a TV, but I just realized that in 5 years I could get this TV for $300. So I'm not going to pay $8,000 for it. They could do that if they wanted to. That's how trades work. I wouldn't want them to, but they can. So all the other stuff is just posturing. That's all it is. It's just posturing for the sake of posturing. The Trey Hendrickson part is the part that matters. And what they do next. This is going to be a wild story. In 5 years, we're like, dude, remember the week when the Ravens had Maxx Crosby? And we had like 8 guests on talking about Maxx Crosby, and our entire TikTok page was nothing but Maxx Crosby content.
I cut 3 TikToks yesterday about Maxx Crosby.
Good.
Only shared one of them.
Good. Can we still do something with the Terrell Suggs story?
Yeah.
Can we do? Because that was fun.
One, that one was
fun.
Good. That was good.
With respect, I mean, like, we did 2 days of content that just sort of that's a bummer for us, but it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Work harder. I just came up with that one. Should write that down somewhere. See if we can't do something with it. Today's show is brought to you by County Sports Zone. As championship weekend is set, I saw Baba hit a game winner last night, and Maryland won. Everything's coming up Terps. You were at the UMBC, right?
Yeah.
Man,
that was
great.
I thought I had washed the taste of of Towson out of my, and then 2 minutes later,
you get the
Maxx Crosby is no longer a Raven.
Right.
And
they get a blowout win over Lowell. They're going to host the title game on Saturday morning. That's very cool. Very happy for UMBC. We'll do more about that tomorrow. But you can find out more about Championship Weekend, which is at UMBC, by going to countysports.zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. Speaking of college hoops, we're going to pause the Maxx Crosby conversation for a second. The Navy women are playing in the Patriot and hosting the Patriot League semis tomorrow night. And the captain of the captains at Navy is Maren Louridas, and she's going to join us next here on Glenn Clark Radio. Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack. Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
You've been injured in a crash. Your medical bills are piling up, and the insurance company is giving you the runaround. You don't just need a lawyer, you need results. At Warnken Law, we represent the injured across Maryland. Whether it's a car accident, medical malpractice, or a serious injury, we fight for the maximum compensation you deserve. We've been voted the best personal injury law firm in Maryland for a reason. For us, 443 Results isn't just a phone number, it's our mission. Get the advocate you need. Call Warnken today at 443 Results or visit warnkenlaw.com. That's 443 Results. Call now.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of PressBox is available now. On the cover, Dave Ginsburg chats with Hall of Famer Cal Ripken Jr. about his life now at the age of 65, his role with the Orioles ownership group, and much more. Also inside, Bill Ordine helps us learn more about new Ravens head coach Jesse Minter. Luke Jackson finds out about new Orioles slugger Pete Alonso from those who have played with him, and we meet college lacrosse players from programs all across the area. PressBox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
March Mania is on at Live Casino. And you can get a front row seat for all the action at Sports and Social. Raise your game with massive wall-to-wall TVs. And raise a cheer with your favorite beers, cocktails, and an all-star menu. Best of all, you could win huge prizes every game. Don't get benched. Book your table at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, back in here on GCR. I promise we'll talk more about Trey Hendrickson moving forward. Also, our buddy Brian McFarland from Russell Street Report will tell us about the ramifications of what the Ravens did with Lamar Jackson's contract. But before we do any of that, a real pleasure to welcome in our next guest, because not only is Navy hosting in the Patriot League women's basketball semifinals, but she is just a remarkable human being, literally not just the captain of the Navy women's basketball team, but the captain of the captains at Navy. She's Maren Louridas, and she is with us here on GCR today. Maren, it's Glenn. It's great to meet you. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Yeah, thank you for the nice introduction. So nice to meet you.
Maren, I feel like you are basically Captain America. Like, I'm just being honest with you. What does it mean when all of the captains and all of you remarkable human beings to begin with, because like you're sacrificing and putting together a commitment that most of us didn't have the guts to do. So you're all incredible people. But for that group of people to say, and we want you to represent all of us, what did it mean for you to get that honor, and how do you carry that on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I mean, it just means the world to me, honestly. So here at the Naval Academy, we have 36 varsity sports and 40 exceptional team captains. And for them to vote me to be the captain of captains, just it means everything to me. I mean, and the likes of like Blake Horvath, Landon Robinson, just amazing people overall, and like all of our sports captains here. It's truly such an honor to be able to represent them and advocate for our athletes here. So like, it's hard to be a Division I athlete. It's even harder to be a Division I athlete at the Naval Academy with all our other obligations. So it's truly been such a special journey so far.
I feel like if I were in your shoes, I would at least politely request that everyone refer to me as Captain Louridas moving forward. I know it's a little bit different world because like there's military titles and the whole thing, but did you at least like have some fun with that, maybe with some of your teammates?
Yeah, they always joke around and like will call me captain to captains.
I love it.
Like my family, like they'll be like, "Okay, captain to captains." I'm like, okay.
I love that.
So that's been. It is like quite the cool title. So, but yeah, it is kind of funny.
That's awesome. That is so cool. Maren, for people that don't know the full story of what you all have done at Navy, you went through the other side of this. Like you have been there, for sure. That when things weren't so great. It was 1 in 30. Hang on a second. What was the record?
Well, it actually defies statistics, Glenn. It was 1 in 29.
1 in 29.
Just
that's
to be exact.
Yes.
Yeah.
1 in 29 was the record. Can you put into words how this has happened for those of you that have been around for it to go from 1 in 29 to Patriot League regular season champions and 2 wins away from the NCAA tournament?
Well, I mean, we always say it, but I say to my teammates, like, adversity has been such a blessing for us. Like, going through that 1-29 season, like, you can't really put into words. Just, I mean, there was a lot of tears, like, but just showing up every day for practice and the effort we put in, like, still getting in extra workouts. We definitely had a vision of this moment of where we are today. So we just had to really keep the faith and keep working hard, and each season got a little bit better and a little bit better. Last season, I think we all knew we could have gone a little bit further past the quarterfinals, but now here we are, and I think it's really, really because of the work we've put in and during practice. I mean, of course, we've just recruited some exceptional players with Sanai Barneke, Juliana Almeida, and then now Zoe Misach coming in. They all got Rookie of the Year, and so just like bringing in these exceptional people, not only players, but like young women as well. And just like the effort we've been putting in during practice, it's always a competition and just going hard against our teammates so we can really be prepared for the games.
Maren Louridas from Navy is with us here on GCR. Tomorrow night, Patriot League semifinals in Annapolis. Maren, what has it meant to you, right? Like to have been through that experience, how did it shape you? And what has it meant to, like, again, maybe do you share that story with the younger players, like over the years? Hey, don't take this for granted. This is where we've come from. What did it do for you, and what has it meant to you to now get to experience this as a senior?
Yeah, I think having seen what it's like to lose a lot, you just really are that much more hungry to win and to keep winning. Like once you've known how awful it is to lose that many times, just the feeling of winning is really addicting and just brings so much joy and like happiness to our program. And when we win, everybody's happy, and it really just makes like such a difference. But it's really that work we've been putting in, and I think it's really just shaped me as a person. Like going through this experience, like being a Division I athlete here, I've really grown into my leadership style. And of course I'll be an officer in the Navy soon, so just having like experienced sports at this level, it's really taught me so much about myself, so much about who I am as a leader and who I want to be in the fleet. And like I've committed myself to a life of service, and I'm really dedicated to that and excited to serve our country.
And we really appreciate that. That is a powerful thing. Maren, you brought up Zanai, right? And I called your guys' game at Loyola earlier this season.
Oh, really?
And I was just blown away about like how she so calmly controls things on the floor. Obviously, Patriot League Player of the Year, Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year. But she was someone that like had opportunities. There were a lot of programs that were coming after her a year ago. As you bring up, not just the player, who we know is remarkable, but how about her as the person and her willingness to stay committed and to sort of see this thing through, not just for your team, but obviously for her own life?
Yeah, I mean, I think like she had opportunities like coming out of high school to go wherever she wanted. And I think so at the Naval Academy, we have 2 for 7, which is once you complete 2 years here, you sign on for your service. So you sign that contract. And she had opportunities to leave even before then if the school wasn't for her. But I think she talks about how she sees like her career, and one day the ball is going to stop bouncing, as it does for everyone. And I think she really has exceptional like foresight, and she just like is a good person. And I think she sees beyond her basketball career, and I think that's ultimately why she chose the Naval Academy and chose to stay. So I'm just super proud of her and her commitment to this team, and she truly is like the hardest worker I've ever met, and she deserves every single accolade that she's ever gotten.
And how much does everybody feed off of that, right? Like how much the calm is really the part that like jumped out at me. Like it was so almost unassuming how she can take control of a game. How much does everyone feed off of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think when she gets when we're in some tight situations, like game is neck and neck, or maybe we're trailing by a couple points, I think I really look to her and I say, we all need to feed off of her energy, because Z will come up with some steals, like some true hustle plays, and just like snatch rebounds out of the air and high point them. And I think we all really feed off of her energy in those moments and just her calm, cool, collected demeanor. Like, we've been here before. Obviously, she has a ton of experience now at this point as a junior in her career. So I think her ability to really take control of a game and make some tough shots that I was like, okay, you got to give her credit. Like, that was good defense, but even better offense. So yeah, she's grown a lot in her time here, and yeah, she's exceptional.
All right, so this is the tough part, Maren, because this is the nature of March Madness, is that it can all change in a hurry. And unfortunately, I took my kids to the men's game on Sunday, and God, we are still heartbroken. And trying to get everybody fired up, and I saw that. They kept putting you guys up on the screen.
I did.
Trying to get everybody fired up. But how do you, how do you handle that nature of we can't have even a second of letdown because it could be the end of the season? How do you guys handle that during the next couple of games?
Yeah, I think, we were all at the boys' game, and I think obviously heartbroken for them. Like, they're some of my best friends. Our teams are very close here. But I do think it just shows the nature of March. And I think we saw that also with the boys' game. I think it was Lehigh against Holy Cross, just another heartbreaker on a half-court buzzer beater. So, it can change like that. So we just really learned that you can't let teams stick around. So, in our game against Boston, it was really a revenge game for our boys team, and I feel like we got that. We took care of business, but really with the nature of like the win or go home, we've just been taking it day by day, really talking about our vision and how we're going to carry that out. And it starts with like each day in practice and our prep, especially for our game against Lehigh. We can't take any game for granted. Lehigh beat us once before, and I think now we're coming in with a slightly different game plan, making adjustments. So we've just been working really hard in practice to really carry that out and execute.
That was my next question, so we can skip ahead. And as obviously you bring up that road game at Lehigh just a couple of weeks ago, and having to get over that. That's tomorrow night, 7:00. And then it provided there's a win, then the Patriot League championship game would be this Sunday in Annapolis at 12:00. And great opportunity for you to get out and bring the kids and let them experience March Madness tomorrow night, and then hopefully Sunday afternoon in Annapolis. Maren, whenever we have a Navy athlete on, I always just want to hear your story. Like, what your decision to do this yourself, to play at the academy. I know you're from a basketball family, but it's not the same as just playing basketball anywhere. Why was it right for you? Why was it something that you wanted to do?
Yeah, thank you for asking this question. My grandparents, my one grandfather served in the Air Force, and my other one spent some time up at West Point. And my grandpa, he's from like a small farm town up in like upstate New York, Columbia County. And when he got accepted to West Point, like the whole town threw a whole parade for him, and it was a whole special thing. And he went to West Point, I think, for 2 years until he was medically discharged due to like a bomb incident affecting his hearing, and he wasn't able to commission. But through that adversity, he went to medical school, became a surgeon, and really built a beautiful life for my family. And like his life dedicated to a career of service, and like in a different way than he originally thought it was going to play out, just really inspired me to like come to the Naval Academy. I didn't really know about it before I was recruited here, but just like how I felt during my unofficial visit and the coaching staff, it really felt like the perfect place for me and where I needed to be, and I could see myself among the midshipmen. And it's really been a beautiful journey for me. I found my best friends here, especially through the basketball team. But yeah, I couldn't really picture myself anywhere else. And my brothers back home are a huge inspiration to me. So that's really why I serve, is to make the world a better place for them. So I'm so excited for their journey, their basketball journeys. My younger brother Jack is going to play at Yale next year, so I'm just incredibly proud of him.
God, overachieving family, the Naval Academy and Yale. Boy, your parents must be incredible. Like, incredible.
I think they're really proud, really happy.
That is awesome. Good for you. Maren, it's wonderful to meet you and appreciate not only what you've done on the floor, but obviously your commitment to service, which is remarkable. We'll be rooting for you this week and hopefully celebrating a trip to the NCAA tournament here in a few days. Thank you for spending the time for us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I hope to see a lot of people out on Thursday. I'm excited.
No doubt about it. Tomorrow night, Navy-Lehigh, the Patriot League semifinals. Thank you to Maren Louridas for spending time with us this morning. And I keep saying that. Like, this is a great chance. The NCAA tournament does not come to our area very frequently. I know there is, on the men's side, I think some games in D.C. this year. But this is your opportunity. Take your family, take your kids, and let them experience a taste of March Madness. In Annapolis this week. We were talking about how the UMBC men are hosting on Saturday. It's a very cool thing to be able to experience that in postseason basketball. So tomorrow night, Navy, the women taking on Lehigh, 7 o'clock in the Patriot League semifinals. All right, continuing on a very busy, weird day. Really weird day, as weird as we've probably had. Can't think of many that were weirder. Today's show also brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel. Speaking of March Mania coming up in just a couple of weeks. And the best place, not even a couple of weeks, we're now, 8 days? 8 days from the start of the Mania. And the best place to watch all the games is Inside Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. 100-foot media wall, all the games up there. Great food and drink specials, giveaways during every game for March Mania. But book your tables, book your reclining chairs now so you don't miss out. Joining us now, try to, the other story of the day, the one that in another world would probably be a more notable story, but we're talking a little bit less about it because of what's going on with Trey Hendrickson and Maxx Crosby, is that there was at least movement in terms of Lamar Jackson's contract. What does it mean? Where are the Ravens now cap-wise after the Trey Hendrickson deal and all of the players they've lost? Whenever we have these questions, the man we want to talk to about it is Mr. Brian McFarland from Russell Street Report. You know him at Ravens Salary Cap on Twitter, and he is back with us now here on GCR. Brian, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Good. How about you, Glenn?
Oh, man, it's been a...
Anything happen?
Yeah, right. This is I'm that 30 Rock meme where I'm like, what a week, and then Alec Baldwin says, "Lemon, it's Wednesday." That's where we've been. Let's talk specifically about the Lamar of this. This is not an extension, although the word is that they intend to keep working on an extension. I guess the practical, what does it mean as far as what this does, and how important is it that they still figure out an extension in the coming weeks so that they're not still dealing with this moving forward?
Yeah, so, I mean, an extension would have been the best result. It doesn't preclude, restructure doesn't preclude an extension in the future. It does make it, difficult. I mean, everything seems to be difficult with the Ravens and Lamar. So add to the difficulty, I guess I'll say. Basically, what they have done is the restructure took his base salary a little over $51 million down to $1.3 million, turned that into a bonus that gets prorated over the life of the deal. Sounds like they added an extra void year. There are already 2 there because I saw that they generated 39.96, which would be adding the void year. So they've created that cap space. They needed it. I mean, they obviously were doing it I think, to get Crosby in, obviously, before that fell apart. But that, I think it was going to happen either way. An extension would not have created as much, but would have extended him. And obviously, having him here secured long-term is the more important aspect. So the problem with an extension now is generally when you extend a player, you convert that a lot of that or most of that base salary into part of the signing bonus that he's going to get. But they've already done that now. The 1.3 is the lowest you can go, and it's there now. So his cap number will go back up if there's an extension. Then it's a question of obviously they're planning for that, fingers crossed. So they'll set some aside where they think that would be needed. So, if we don't have Simpson's numbers, we don't have final numbers on Hendrickson or Snoop to figure out what their 2026 cap number is going to be. So we don't know what those are going to be, but between the restructure and they had about $20 million, so you're looking at about $60 million in cap space right now before we know Hendrickson and before we know Simpson and Snoop. So they've got plenty right now. So, but they're going to have to take a portion of that and set that aside. So, if it's $35 million after those three guys are added, just to use numbers, or maybe $45 million, then they're going to need some part of that to accommodate a new signing bonus proration when he gets a signing bonus. Now, fingers crossed, the discussions are good at this point, quote unquote. They just couldn't get over the final number, and that will be factored in because the last signing bonus he got on his last deal was $72.5 million. Dak Prescott got the highest bonus for a quarterback at $80 million. So I would think Lamar would be topping that, but he's already got $50 million in his pocket. So hopefully that's factored in. So instead of him getting a $100 million bonus or a $90 million bonus or 85, it will be it'll be 35 because he's already got the 50, or 40 because he's already got the 50, and then they only need to set aside 8 to 10 plus the new higher base salary. So they're going to need probably 15 or so, hopefully no more than that, of what they've created to get an extension done. But again, everything has been so difficult with this situation. You've got, I don't know, the
Brian,
percentages.
Can I ask, is it crazy to think that they wouldn't just be better off waiting until next year, or it would just be the same problem at that point to do it next year? And obviously, then you're 1 year away from him being a free agent.
I think the sooner you get it done, just for security's sake, for everybody, both sides. And it's not hanging over everybody's heads. But if it comes to next year, and they can't, if he says I'm not doing a deal, or they can't reach the right number, they're going to have to look into trading. They really don't have much of an option. He walks. Yep. If he walks the following year, they can't use the franchise tag. So, they would have to consider getting something back. His trade value goes down because the Ravens are pinched at that point. Teams aren't going to offer, what they would normally offer because the Ravens have to trade him at that point. But then again, Houston had to trade Watson, and they got a huge amount for it. So, this isn't ideal, but they needed to, one way or another, they needed to address his number, and here we are. But I've been waiting for an extension, but like I said, things seem to be so tough, and 25% of the fan base blames Lamar, 25% blames, I don't know if these numbers are right, but blames the Ravens, and the other 50% just wants it done.
Yep.
Just get it done.
Whatever
Who cares? I don't care whose fault it is.
We don't have to talk about it anymore, no doubt.
Exactly.
All right, so Brian, let's be practical about this, because you brought up some of the numbers earlier, and then whatever they're going to have to hold for that bonus, for trying to get an extension done. And then obviously you have to factor in, of course, rookie draft pick money, and now they're going to have to pay a first-round pick again, obviously, after the way things have unfolded. And then, a reasonable amount of walking around money that they want to hold over for the season. Factoring in all of that, where are they as far as actual cap available to them?
Yeah, now that they've done Hendrickson, factoring that in, it's probably not going to be, because you're looking at during the season, well, for draft picks, and then obviously the first round pick comes back in. I took that out, and I should have saved the old one I had. So now I got to recreate that, but putting the first round back in, and other things, practice squad, injury replacement fund. That's usually about, 16 to 20 million now. So that's money that they're going to need to set aside. So if Hendrickson and, this gets done, and like I said, 15, so it's only probably about 10 to 15 in spending money. Now, there might be other restructures. There might be other extensions. Marlon Humphrey, I still, we haven't heard anything. Those restructures we never hear about, pay cuts we never hear about till it hits the NFLPA site. Teams don't announce those things,
Right.
but I find it hard to believe, Marlon Humphrey is going to be making
Sure.
$19.5 million in cash this year. So there's probably some, if they worked out a deal with him for a pay cut, that cutting him would save about $7 million. So if they can work out a deal with him to keep him around and still create about $7 million out of that, then it's kind of a, if they want him back, it's kind of a win-win. He stays. They get the same amount of savings as if they cut him, but he's still here. So I would think there's going to be something there as well. Is Broderick Washington going to be cut? That's $4 million. Justice Hill, I thought was potential cut, but if they're truly, and it might have changed now, but if they truly aren't going to tender Keaton Mitchell, then I would think that means Hill's staying. So there's some other avenues there to create the space. Hopefully,
I guess what I'm asking is there room for still like a big? I think one of the crazy things that's come out in the last couple of days is this like suggestion, and who knows, maybe this is no more than posturing, but there's been a suggestion that's been made by very credible reporters that the Ravens were trying to be in on both Crosby and Trey Hendrickson. So I guess I ask, obviously, it's almost certainly not going to be a pivot back to Crosby at this point. I just cannot believe that's in play. But, just for the sake of the argument, is there a world where there could still be room to, consider an A.J. Brown trade if they were interested in that?
And I think a lot of it would fall on what they, and obviously they know more than we do, but what the prognosis on Madubuike is.
Mm-hmm.
Restructuring Madubuike can create, I believe, I don't have the number in front of me, about $14 million by itself. So if they're comfortable with his health moving forward, that's certainly an option. Now, if they're not comfortable with that, then I don't think they would do that. But that's an option there. They could restructure Roquan Smith. That's another 10 to 12, I believe. Those aren't ideal, but because of certain reasons, but, it certainly sounds like they were going all in here. And the fact that they restructured Lamar down to the bone says that they're all in, because it doesn't make for a pretty next year. And even, that just added $20 million. If he's not here in 28, that added $20 million to the void years right there. That, again, not ideal. But now if they extend him, then that'll get spread out. So hope is obviously, again, an extension there. But if that doesn't work out, they're making moves that say that they're all in. So they do have other moves they can make, and they may have already made, because again, a lot of these things, restructures don't hit until they hit either the management council or the NFLPA. That's not something teams announce. Extensions they announce, but that's why when I saw that he'd redone the deal and the wording was a little ambiguous, I said, well, unless it's an extension, if it was an extension, that'd be all over the Ravens website. So the fact that it's not, and I know they had a lot going on yesterday, but the fact that it's not, led me to believe that it was a restructure instead. So they have other options. So, they can make a decent chunk of change more if they really want.
So the answer seems to be we need to still see what happens the next couple of days and figure out where they're going to be at that point. Anyway, anything else going on? Anything else?
No, this time of year is great in a way, but obviously the Crosby issue is not great. But finding these numbers, because they do come out in dribs and drabs, is really hard. I would have thought we would have seen numbers on Snoop by now, because he did sign a couple days ago, but that hasn't hit. That's not going to be big numbers, obviously, and Simpson's, all these free agent numbers are out there, and Simpson's agent is not talking to anyone. So I wonder that $30 million over 3 years
was like an up
I wonder.
to.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more and more that's up to, which would make a little more sense in my mind, because that seems a little pricey. So maybe it's 3 for $24, and there's incentives in there, which would sound a lot better. So we'll see. But that I'm just surprised we haven't seen those. And like I said, the fact that we haven't, team's not going to disclose them. The agent isn't out there touting them, so that might mean it's less.
Whew, boy. All right. Well, we're going to be in touch. That
Sounds good.
We'll
Yep.
be talking
Yeah. In
to
the
you.
next couple of days, by Friday, hopefully, fingers
we
crossed.
have a little more.
We have these more detail here for
definition.
sure.
At Raven's salary cap, he will, of course, be putting it all there, and RussellStreetReport.com. Brian McFarland, always appreciate you, brother. Thanks for hopping on today.
Absolutely. Anytime, Glenn. Anytime. Take care.
Brian McFarland with us here on GCR, trying to make more sense of where the Ravens stand. And to his point, we just need to know a little bit more, not only about the value of John Simpson's deal, and then what they might still intend to do to clear space related to some other players. Whew. My head is still spinning, man. It has been a couple of days. We need to take another break, don't we?
Yes.
Great. Let's do that. Yikes. You want to give away a shirt? Let's do that. Let's give away a shirt. What are we going to do to give away a shirt today? Email producer at PressBoxOnline.com with your favorite. What is your all-time favorite conspiracy theory?
Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 points, I guess.
Yeah, right. And there's no video. Sounds a lot like the moon landing, according to Rocky Boiman.
Yeah.
What's your all-time favorite conspiracy theory?
Also, Bigfoot's not a conspiracy. I mean, Bigfoot exists.
Is real.
Yeah.
I think Nessie is. I'm not sure if Bigfoot is. I'm a Nessie man.
Okay.
Like,
well, I've never seen. Yeah. I mean.
What do you mean you've seen Bigfoot?
I mean, I've heard him. Yeah.
It's crazy actually at my house. This is a straight shoot. This week, and we always have coyotes at my house, but this week the coyotes are loud.
Oh, because it's nice and warm. Everybody's coming out from underground probably. And
listen to me.
I think everything is coming out
unnerving loud. Like I don't remember what I was watching the other night.
Really? I didn't know we had coyotes in.
Well, I don't know if you have them where
Baltimore
you are,
County.
but we sure as hell have them where I am, and we've had them for a long time. I mean, it's a real problem. So. The other night, I don't remember what I was watching. Maybe the Towson game?
Finding Bigfoot. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, might have been the Towson game.
I was watching Finding Bigfoot, but...
And I started hearing noises. I'm like, what? Because I'm thinking like one of the kids is awake and doing something that they're not supposed to be doing.
He's howling.
Right?
He's looking up at the moon. And
I turned the sound off on the TV, and I realized, I'm like, oh, my God, it's the coyotes. And, they're that loud. They are. I mean, it's unnerving how loud they are. So, yeah, that's a fun thing that I have happening in my life. But maybe it's just Bigfoot. Maybe it's not the coyote.
Yeah, it was probably Bigfoot.
Maybe it's just Bigfoot. Anyway, email producer at PressBoxOnline.com. What's your favorite conspiracy theory? What's the one? And Griffin will pick his favorites of your favorite, and that person will get a Crabs Beer Game Day T-shirt.
Who built the pyramids?
Right?
Tell me. Let me know. I'm curious.
Tell me who it is. But get in anytime in the next 24 hours. So I'm saying this at 12:32. So we won't pick a winner until Thursday at 12:32. You got 24 hours. So if you're listening later today or watching later today or tomorrow morning, all good. You still have time to get in and win your Crabs Beer Game Day T-shirt. Get a tidbit and tuba to wrap it up next. Glenn Clark Radio.
March Mania is on at Live Casino. And you can get a front row seat for all the action at Sports and Social. Raise your game with massive wall-to-wall TVs. And raise a cheer with your favorite beers, cocktails, and an all-star menu. Best of all, you could win huge prizes every game. Don't get benched. Book your table at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs in the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack. Costas is your place to go. Check out the website, CostasInn.com, for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
You've been injured in a crash. Your medical bills are piling up, and the insurance company is giving you the runaround. You don't just need a lawyer, you need results. At Warnken Law, we represent the injured across Maryland. Whether it's a car accident, medical malpractice, or a serious injury, we fight for the maximum compensation you deserve. We've been voted the best personal injury law firm in Maryland for a reason. For us, 443 Results isn't just a phone number, it's our mission. Get the advocate you need. Call Warnken today at 443-RESULTS or visit warnkenlaw.com. That's 443-RESULTS. Call now.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR. I've had a couple other. It's funny because I said last night I wasn't doing really any reporting work myself, but ironically, as is normally the case in these situations, I've had a couple of league sources reach out to me, and I would just say that like I have less and less credence for the conspiracy theories based on the league sources that have reached out to me. Actually, I've had new conspiracy theories that were suggested to me from some of the sources that have reached out to me. Ones that maybe suggest there might have been dirty pool played, but it might not have been the side of this that everybody thinks is playing dirty pool.
So, you want me to just say it, or?
I mean, yeah, there are people that think that
the Raiders wanted Maxx Crosby back.
No, or might have known more than they were leading on.
Oh, okay. That this knee injury was more significant than.
And there was one, I think, report already that suggested that like they had described the surgery in a way that was not accurate.
I guess I thought,
but one of the sources that reached out to me, literally a league source. I want to say I can't say too much about who. I cannot.
I guess I just thought
someone who reached out to me said there is way more on the Raiders side of this conversation than is being discussed right now, and that's all I'm going to share to this point. Because I'm not vetting it, I'm just literally getting these messages during the course of the show. So that's all. I've never believed the most insane conspiracy theories related to this, but I don't know. Like it'd be crazy if we find out later that like everybody knew that Maxx Crosby was a little bit more injured than we're letting on. Like that would be kind of wild if it ends up playing out that way.
As in, I mean, like the only thing I can think at this point then is like it has to be. We all knew it was a meniscus, so it was more than that. Like there was another ligament in there.
I don't think the Ravens knew there was a meniscus when they decided they were going to trade for him on Friday.
Right.
It can't just be the thing they knew. That can't be it.
Well, so the other thing is there's like 2 different types of meniscus tear or surgeries. Like there's a trim and then there's like a root tear or surgery or whatever. And so, but even if you do get the root repair, it should still be like a much timelier recovery than like an ACL or something.
So look, man, I don't know. Again, as I said before, the truth is it doesn't really matter any longer. By tomorrow, the conversation really is the Ravens moving forward. I mean, there will still always be weirdos that will be, but the conversation becomes the Ravens. I've engaged it. The real conversation is what do the Ravens do? And we'll find out. That's the deal. Let's get a tidbit. Oh, UMBC, congratulations to UMBC. We didn't really get much of a chance to talk about it, but we're going to have somebody on tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to chat with somebody from UMBC.
All right, great, wonderful. I'm glad we're doing that. I love that, and they will host on Saturday at 11 a.m. I really wish my schedule would allow for that to happen for me because, as we said, they have not hosted an America East Championship game in 18 years. But they will host Vermont. And we know there's a lot of history between UMBC and Vermont.
I think tickets go on sale at like 8 o'clock tonight for non-season ticket holders.
The teams have split the 2 games this year, UMBC winning at home and Vermont winning up there. It ain't going to be easy because it's Vermont. But
oh, shit, there's a basketball game on. I forgot.
Calm down.
You got to
settle down over there.
Darn.
Is it going to be one where there's a guy singing the Goo Goo Dolls in the background when somebody's shooting a free throw? Because that was my favorite thing yesterday.
I did not see that.
Oh, I don't remember. I think it was hit Stanford.
Oh.
And somebody was at the free throw line, and like there's nobody in the building because Pitt's playing Stanford at noon in Charlotte.
That was great. The UMBC swimming diving team, they were out and they were
naked.
They
did that in the quarterfinals too.
Okay.
Where they were, and some guy, I don't know who was at the free throw line. I think one of the Stanford players, who's like the only guy in the arena, just starts yelling. And I don't want the world to see me. Now the guy made his free throws, so it didn't work.
I think Lowell made all their free throws too when they were looking at.
Very creative, and I enjoyed it a great deal. I really like that. And Maryland wins, so they're playing again right now. Is that the game you want to watch?
Yeah. Because I'm hoping the first half will be. I think it's on Peacock. Yeah.
And then they're playing Iowa, right?
Yes.
In the Big Ten
Hey, we beat them already.
Sure. And then what was it? The World Baseball Classic. Did John want us? Is that who wanted us to talk about the World Baseball Classic? Stop.
Now let's talk WBC. Yeah.
John, I don't care. I don't care that the U.S. lost. I don't care that the U.S. lost. I don't at all. I care about one thing.
You should.
Is Gunnar Henderson?
Oh, look
healthy?
at that. Hey.
Oh, man.
Basketball school.
Is Gunnar Henderson healthy? Appears to be. Great. That's the list of things
Didn't look good in the 9th inning.
And you can tell by this cockamamie system of how they're going to choose who's in the quarterfinals.
I mean,
just how legitimate of a competition this is. It's definitely, when it involves having to do math equations, it's definitely a legitimate.
Well, even at regular standings require math. You know, 81 wins is more than 80.
Yes,
you know,
and
like
dividing. There's a lot of division involved. Spare me. It is a farcical competition, and if you are worked up about it, that's for you. That's not for me. All right. I want to get a tidbit. Tidbit is brought to you today. By the way, Grant's
so
here.
we need Italy to win, or we need Mexico to win and score 5 or more runs.
But isn't there a scenario where, like, if they score 5,
also if they go to extras, then we can throw it out the window because then we have to go back to the calculator,
the math. Yeah. And then isn't there a scenario where, like, if they score 5, but some of them are unearned versus?
I think it's runs
earned?
allowed. Period. I think it was runs allowed. Period.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I was seeing a lot of. Dude, if it involves us having to pull out a calculator.
Well, because I remember I started doing the math last night too, and I was playing it like Mexico had gotten 9 innings and gotten 27 outs, but they only went 8 innings against the U.S. in their game, so I had to like go back and do the math.
And that's a factor tonight because who's the home team tonight?
Mexico is the home team tonight.
Yeah,
so if they were to like go maybe if Mexico, if they were to go to extras and like Mexico, walks it off in the bottom half before Italy records any outs in the bottom half of the 10th. Then they'd have more. I guess then everyone would be even.
Whatever.
So if the score was like 6-5, then I think everyone would have the same runs allowed.
I
or something.
I don't care.
It's baseball.
It's a farcical event. Grant's here.
Baseball.
Grant's a baseball guy. He'll be here next week while Griffin's. I don't know.
I'll be down in Florida. I'm going to Disney World.
You gonna go to a game while you're down there?
That's fair enough.
No, we're going to Disney World. It's like a job, you have to go into Disney
Flip the
World.
coin.
You're going to all 4 parks while you're down there?
My sister turned 21, and she's like, I wanted to go to Disney World to drink around the world at Epcot. And so she gets what she wants. So.
Well, that's one day. Like, you're going the whole week.
Well, yeah. We're going to fly back Friday.
Whatever. Anyway, the moral of the story is Grant's going to be in next week for Griffin. Looking forward to having him back. Good to see you, buddy.
Plus 4 parks, 4 days.
Yeah. All right, I gotta do more radio. I got another lacrosse game to do. I have so much. I have so much to do. Tidbit is brought to you today by the print issue of Pressbox, which is available for free at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Everywhere around town where you find Pressbox, you can read it all. PressBoxOnline.com. Great cover story about Cal Ripken, college lacrosse, Jesse Minter stuff in there, and nothing about Maxx Crosby, thankfully. That is the good news.
What was your favorite moment of the Maxx Crosby era?
Well, that podcast, right?
Yeah, the 15 minutes. The tweet saying, the Dundalk tuxedo.
Yeah, that was a really good one. That was a really good one. A Maxx Crosby jersey and purple camo pants or a Dundalk tuxedo. That was really good. I did see somebody this morning say, just get Trey Hendrickson a tattoo and a black and mild, and everybody in Dundalk will be happy again. That's a very
Travis
good
Jones
tweet.
gets to keep his number now, I guess. I assume he was going to give it up. I don't know.
What you got?
Brian Powell pointed out to me, Navy women's lacrosse coach, Cindy Timschel, recorded her 600th win yesterday.
Not all at Navy.
Where has she won the most games?
Maryland.
Nope.
She won more. She really did win more at. Oh my God! There was one of the places she coached, and oh my God. Oh, I know that. Northwestern?
No, she did not win more. She won 76 at Northwestern, 260 at Maryland. 264th win
at
Navy this week. Yeah.
God, I just didn't realize how long she's been there, but it has been. I got to think about how long Kathy Reese has been at Maryland. Yeah.
And then also we did mention it. We've alluded to it somewhat. Bam Adebayo scored a farcical. You want to talk about things that are farcical? That fourth quarter was. The first quarter was incredible. He scored 31 points. He went 5 of 8 from. The Wizards are terrible, obviously, but the fourth quarter was just ridiculous. Like nobody else was shooting the basketball, but him. He scored 83 points, second most in NBA history. 11th player to score 70 in a game.
All right. Allegedly will.
Right, allegedly will. But he also has other history. He scored 70, at least 75 other times. So Wilt does definitely make the list.
Kobe, obviously.
Yes.
Shaq, correct?
No.
Or was it David Robinson then?
David Robinson.
Yeah,
scroll down one.
David Robinson and Shaq were fighting for a scoring title at the end of a season. Hi, Leah. We're still on the air.
Well, there was a lot that happened yesterday, including this.
So they were fighting for a scoring title down to the end of the season.
Yeah, you're right. It was April 24th, 1994.
They allowed David Robinson to cartoonishly play every minute of the last regular season game to clinch the scoring title by scoring an absurd amount of points.
I scored 71.
I flipped it around where it was Shaq that did it. It was Shaq versus David Robinson. Speaking of Navy basketball, obviously. Yeah. God, who else did it? Who else did a 70-point game? Oh, there was one not that long ago. Oh my God.
Several not long ago.
Yeah. Was it Donovan Mitchell?
Yes, Donovan Mitchell on January 2nd, 2023.
There were others that were recent. That was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah,
there
were two in the calendar year 2024. There were two in the calendar year 2023. One of those being, so a month later, somebody else dropped 71 after Donovan Mitchell did.
Did Booker do it at some point?
He did back in 2017.
Yeah.
In 2017. But yes, yeah.
But I thought I remember there being a Booker.
He scored 70 in 2017.
All right, I'm gonna. Who would have done this recently? Giannis.
Nope.
Doncic.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Lucas scored 73 on January 26th, 4 days after this man scored 70, and also in January of 2024.
Harden.
Nope. But Harden, is Harden on the list? No, Harden's not on the list.
God, I don't know. Ant.
No.
Tatum.
No.
Embiid.
Really? 4 days before Luka did in January 2024.
I don't remember that at all.
So we're missing February 2023.
So
Western Conference.
February 2023.
Guard.
Conference guard. Is he still in the Western Conference?
I don't know. Who the hell is he playing? Or right-click his name. Yeah, him. Just right-click it. Yeah, and then open a new tab. See who he's on.
I said
Oh, he's back there. He's back with
Jamal Murray.
No, not Jamal
Murray. He's back. Dame.
Yes, Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard. Where he had a cup of coffee somewhere else?
Milwaukee. He went
to
Milwaukee for a minute. God. Yeah.
He's back in Portland and scored 71 in 2023. Now we need.
You know what? I actually might remember that one now that I say it out loud. I might remember him doing that.
2 more, I believe. Yeah, 2 more.
How far back are we going?
1978. This man dropped 73 for Denver.
David Thompson.
David Thompson.
We just I watched the ABA doc. That's the only real reason I would have gotten that. David Thompson was a big part of the ABA doc. And one other one. Did I say Michael Jordan?
No, not Michael Jordan.
LeBron.
Not LeBron.
All right, give me something.
You're gonna kick yourself when you.
Elgin Baylor.
Elgin Baylor scored 71 in November of 1960.
Always Elgin Baylor or Steve Young. If it's a basketball question, it's Elgin Baylor. If it's football, it's Steve Young. Son of a bitch. All right, very good. Very good. Here's what's coming up tubular-wise. Tubular is brought to you by the print issue of Press. But I know we already did that one. It's brought to you by the Stan the Fan Variety Show. I hope you enjoyed Stan's coverage down at spring training. It was brought to you by Warnken Law. He'll get back to doing his regular shows. Those are brought to you by the Costas Inn with 2 great locations. One, the OG in Dundalk, and the new one in Timonium. Here's what's coming up tubular-wise. Orioles on TV again this afternoon, 105 on Masson. Kyle Bradish on the mound against Noah Davis. It's also on MLB Network and the rest of the country. As Griffin points out, right now on both NBC Sports Network and Peacock, Maryland taking on Iowa. They're leading by 1 at the
Hang on, boys.
Whatever round of the Big Ten tournament this is.
I believe it's the second of, 8? I don't know.
Yeah, the second of 6, I believe. Yes. This is
so if they win tonight, if they win today, they
get
to advance to the
3rd
round.
Yes, they're still not. Friday is the quarterfinals. They're still not into the quarterfinals if they win today. But that's going on right now. And then tonight, Morgan State takes on Delaware State at 6 in the MEAC tournament. That's on ESPN+. Italy, Mexico has been moved from Tubi to FS1.
Oh, I wonder why.
Impact on the USA. That's tonight at 7. Everything else, go to GlennClarkRadio.com. Find it there. Non-sports.
Survivor, of course. Scrubs. Abbott.
I watched the first.
It's your Wednesday night shows.
Okay.
Zootopia 2 is streaming on Disney Plus now.
All right. Yeah. I took the kids to see it in the theater. It was fine. Nothing more than fine. Very good. Everything else, GlennClarkRadio.com. Thanks today to Rocky Boiman. Thanks to Drew. Thanks to Maren Louridas. Thanks to...
Wow, they're throttling us.
Griffin's really worked up about the Big Ten tournament game. Thanks also to Brian McFarland. We'll get all of it up in the greatest hits section of the...
Conan and Matthew Fox will be on Kimmel tonight.
All right. Tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Tomorrow on the program, Mark Duffner, former University of Maryland head coach, who was a defensive assistant with the Bengals the last few years with one Trey Hendrickson. So we'll get some context about the Ravens' newest edge rusher. Also on the program tomorrow, we're going to go to UMBC. James McCann, former Orioles catcher, who's now with the Diamondbacks, and Patrick Stevens will join us. Boy, it could be another 2-hour, and I got to get over to BAL tomorrow. We'll figure it out. Somehow we'll make it work. That's the way it'll work. All right. Thanks to Griffin. Thanks to all of our great sponsors and partners, everybody at PressBox, as well as Live Casino and Hotel, Costas Inn, Baltimore Area Highs Dairy Stores, Leading Edge Auto Body, Warnken Law, 1-800-GAMBLER, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, Quigley's Half Irish Pub, CountySports.zone, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Thanks to Grant. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Wednesday evening. Go Morgan.
Yeah, why not? Go Andre Mills.
Sure. Duke sucks.